All right. This is another psychology of women and gender. This is Aeropal Jimmy Pablo, and we're doing another chapter, which is chapter 10 and 11, the biology and health related to gender. So this is going to talk about in this chapter what you need to know about this one, and if you're welcome to just read through it and not hear my voice, then you can go ahead and mute me, and I will be leaving links in the description. If there's any YouTube videos at all, then it will be going directly to my English Super 11 playlist. For that way, you will be able to find it there, and it will connect with the review of this lecture that you're seeing right in the screen. All right, so let's not further wait, and let's get right to this. This one is most likely about. All right. It talks about mostly the sex chromosomes, and what this basically is basically what you need to know within each of the sex chromosomes, different types. You can see from this slide, and let's see the next one. And then this one also continues on the sex chromosomes, what you need to know. It's basic knowledge, basic stuff that are pretty much for those who are interested in this to read more within this. Then we got this one. You can see from different types from the chart right here. It shows you exactly how it works, what's in there, and what is expected from those. And then this one also continues going on the sex chromosomes. You can also pause this to read everything within this. That's what this slide's gonna continue talking about. Mostly the effects in adulthood. All right. Then we got this one, and of course there's a link in the bottom. That's where I'm gonna put in the description. If you want to end up finding that, you can learn more within that as the slides go through, and you get to see each of this of how this one reacts. Each of the studies, including the examples, are right here as in this slide. All right. And then we got another one with the link. This is chapter 11. I guess we have it in health. So this one is basically just like continuing on with their health, the situation here, and what's expected. Mostly it tells you the percentage at the same time in 1993, which was passed in Congress requiring, and so on and so on. Because again, we're trying to like review as much as possible. Again, welcome to read it in here. That's why I'm actually making this a video, so that way you could see that. Then you got this one. It also has links from there, and you can see from the notes. If you scroll through each one of them, the links are all right here. So if you're welcome to check this out and read this out, I'll also leave them in the description. That way you know exactly what this is about, so on and so on. All right. And this slide, this is U.S. ranks the worst in development country for material health. You can also see that there's open highlighted green. That means there are links, and I will be leaving them in the description. This is also all you need to know within this slide of what's dealing with from the American side. And then these notes show you the links to each one of them, so on and so on. All right, next slide. And then we got real cases in Georgia, May 2025. This was a while back. I don't know how long this one was, but if this was like barely recently, we'll see what happens. I mean, that is, out of my belief. I didn't know until now what was going on. But there's a link to this, and I'll also leave it in the description. So that way anyone who wants to see this can able to see what's going on with this. Then we have this one, the lack of male and socialism of health and consequences. I also have these two, which you're welcome to see with links. And then you have these in the bottom right here. You can see the links of those. I will also leave in the description and so on. All right, so let's see the next one. You got more links, got more areas. It looks like there's a couple of TikTok things you can recognize. So this will also be in the description. I'll take a look at that. and put it in there for anyone who's actually watching this and able to want to know more about this slide of the health issues from gender, etc. That's what this one's going to be talking about. Okay, next one. And then we got transgender person in healthcare systems. Mostly it relates to, what's going on in the healthcare system, what's going on in the persons in there, and so on and so on. Because this is exactly what's happening in this slide. Then we got a chart that shows an example of health and gender and health, and you can see each one, the labels and the percentage between different race of all what you need to know from each point respectives, from male and female, for both women, guys. That one. This one's masculinization, something with an example of that. Here's this the example. You can see each one. You can how different it tells the person's perspective. And with this one, if you want to pause it to read more about it, I'll leave it right here. That there's no notes in there, so we can go ahead and move on. Then we got the more about the aspects of masculinization. I pronounce it I'm wrong, but it's sometimes I can't pronounce some things. But this is basically, what you're expecting in this slide is what is acceptable and what exactly, the downside to anything from the hormonal PSM. You can see right there in the very top of how the women reacts. So that's what this slide's about. Then you see challenges related to pregnancy. Those who get pregnant, go through so many challenges, rather than the hospital challenges to daily life. It tells you everything you need to know with those ones and that part. And then you got this one as well, which is challenge related to pregnancy, which, you can see different challenges from this slide, what's exactly it's going to happen. So that's what this one's about. And then we got this one, 4 majors of themes of which is miscarriage and what they feel, care for me, and they care for others, help me cope with the future. So that's what this is talking about for this slide. Then we got challenges related to pregnancy once again, abortion, and then you got 2 times abortion methods. Now this is mostly within the respective females. That's what this slide is basically talking about. If you want to pause it to read it, go ahead. Go to the next one. Then you got the issues, of course, all the college issues, most research supports. You have other ones where a woman can experience the regret, sadness. That's what this basically is going to talk with all the percentage things that related to that. So that's what this slide's about. All right. Another graph right here we have is mostly likely abortions decreasing in time. How over time the abortions you could see from the 2 perspectives and how much there is since there was in 2014. So each one you could see how it increased when abortion to no abortions, so on and so on. All right. And then we have this one too, another chart. What do abortions occur in CDC 2015? You can see right there, it gets wider, smaller from the weeks, weeks. And then we have a link from this one. I'll also leave it in the description. It basically shows you exactly what you need to know from this. Remember, this time and space is yours. You see that. That's what that one it takes you to. Then post feelings is most likely what are you feeling. This chart shows you exactly how emotions to allow the person's feelings consider other feelings what they're feeling as well. That's what this is all talking about, and most of them I could see from my perspective is probably in the negatives. We have, last but not least, resources. Those who are interested to look at more resources about this, which is basically grief and abortions, or create a safe space to heal. Sometimes you probably stressed out from this and you don't like the abortion no more, or is something within it that you feel want to know about. That's what this one's about. But again, I'm not trying to tell people, oh yeah, go ahead and go to abortion. I'm basically just leaving with women with this resource to any individual with this one to know more about what this is all about. Because again, in my respective to just review this is all just basically on this resource. So, all right, so that's gonna be it for this chapter, and we'll see you on another chapter from Zero Pal Jimmy Pablo. Thank you so much, and that's it.